Welcome to DuckCast episode 54. Here's a puppy.
Oh yeah, I think I saw a picture of that on the
Yeah.
grams.
This is
He's
Sadie Mae.
adorable.
She is
I had no
adorable.
idea. I legitimately before the recording started, I legitimately did not know you had a living thing under
Yeah, that's what
the
I went
frame.
out to get real
Yeah,
quick.
nice.
She is a little over 2 months old now.
She just pisses all over you live. That would be hilarious.
This is all over me during the show. I am gonna have to actually take her downstairs in a minute, so you'll have a minute to yourself after that. But
I've never had dogs when before I got a dog, we lived in a two-story house, but we
wrong
first got our
girl.
dog when we went to a one-story house. So I don't know, how is
Make
it
me
with?
nervous.
Do you get scared with a little puppy going up and down the stairs?
She doesn't go up and down the steps yet.
Yeah.
She can't. She
Does she
tries
get,
to get onto the
does
first
she get
step.
stared? If she's on the top, does she stop? She trained herself enough.
She'll climb onto the first step and then stop. So when she's too afraid to go down.
Mm.
She can get on our front porch steps. There's only two of them, but she's not afraid to go up those, and she handles herself well. We're very cautious because she wants to bite everything in the house.
Oh no.
And there's some things she shouldn't bite, so we don't leave her unattended. If she's gonna be out of her cage, or she's at least gonna be in the same room as us.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Very burpy right now.
She's adorable though. Sadie, right?
Cutie, yes, Sadie.
She's the podcast mascot officially
She's
now.
the podcast mascot, replacing Barry Boner.
Yeah.
I
She
didn't
does
talk
not wanna
about it
be
on
here.
I didn't talk about it on the show because really, main reason is I'm just not looking for empathy. But no one really it's. We lost our Zach already knows this. We lost our dog Kenzie a while back, and my dad went to North Carolina. Didn't tell us he was coming back with a dog, and then came back with another Westie.
That's cool.
She is a Westie just like Kenzie was. She has a big hole to fill, but she's doing well so far.
We got our third dog after our first one died too, a few months out. It's good to do that.
Yeah, you need
yeah.
It's weird because at first you almost can't imagine getting another dog after you lose something like that, but it doesn't take long for you to just you need to. They're very
yeah.
very important to have around you if you are a dog person. Some people, granted, aren't dog people. I'm going to go take her downstairs real quick. I just wanted to show her the episode real quick, but I don't think she wants to sit on my lap for an hour, so
Yeah.
I'll let her go run around, say whatever you want to the audience, and then I get
Right.
whatever you want to talk about.
So how's everyone doing today? All the 1-2 people that are probably listening, how's it going? I just realized I got a Punisher shirt on. Recently, Jessica Jones came out. Speaking of Punisher, Netflix, all that stuff. Jessica Jones season 2 came out, and it's so far my favorite of all the Marvel Netflix shows. Personally, it has its problems, but I think they pulled off really good. I think my favorite thing is the casting of not to spoil anything, but a certain female. Well, there's a lot of female characters in the show. An older female character. Let's go with that. I really liked the casting of them. I think they pulled off a role that wasn't really just one thing. It was kind of trying to be two different things. It's you know what I mean if you've seen the season. It's really good though. I highly recommend Jessica Jones. I wouldn't say watch season 2 before season 1. Maybe that's because David Tennant's in season 1. You probably watch that just for him. But yeah, just saying. How's it going, man?
It's going pretty good.
So right before doing this, I was doing some paperwork, and while that was happening, I was checking, Twitch, and H3 was live on their podcast, and I saw, I don't know, did you know who they had on tonight, or who they have on right now?
Bob Saget.
Yeah.
Bob Saget. I heard about that.
I was listening to.
They put their schedule on Twitter.
Oh, I don't know on Twitter, but
they've been doing a lot. This is the 3rd episode this week.
I saw a bit of their live show at the Hollywood Improv.
Zach was on again as Jordan.
Hmm?
Zach was on as Jordan again.
Jordan?
You know, the kid that Zach, Psychic Pebbles, pretends to be.
I know the Logan Paul fan. I know Trump.
Yeah, that's Jordan.
Oh, okay. Cool. but I was listening to, and I'm not saying like this just as a thing. I'm saying this to lead to a topic you can get into because I found this interesting. Like kind of just stealing a topic idea from the H3 podcast for us to do on our podcast, but it's an interesting topic nonetheless. We might have talked about it a bit, but at the same time, it's interesting because like they asked him like since Bob Saget's a comedian, a stand-up comedian, with all the recent stuff that has happened over the recent years with people getting very sensitive when it comes to the comedy community and how that affects him, it made me think like also like I think we went into a topic maybe I did like about like how comedy movies aren't as funny anymore, and at the same time I started to think recently like there's not as many comedies out. Maybe that's why, because like Hollywood kind of knows this is a kind of complicated thing, so they're more diving towards like action and drama and stuff like that. Not as much comedy.
I see a lot of people trying to make comedies that can't just be comedies. They have to be something else too.
Maybe they're. I think they might be a bit afraid now because of what's happened. Maybe I'm theorizing here. Maybe that's part of it.
I haven't. Yeah, I don't know. There's not.
You're lacking a bit.
I haven't really gone like a comedy that's just flat out a comedy.
Mm-hmm. Dumb and Dumber 2. Come on, man, that was the best recent one. There's this one that was like, it played a trailer like I think once during like, what was it, that one movie where Matt Damon got shrunk down in that world. I talked about it a bit once. There was this one preview for this one comedy movie, I think with John Cena, Ike Barinholtz, and some other Leslie Mann, I think. I don't know. It's just some movie about parents who are trying to sneak into a frat party that their kids are at and trying to make sure that they don't have sex. It's like, oh no, parents and sex jokes.
Yeah, I saw that. You know what I will say, actually? There's a movie called Game Night that just came out.
Game Night.
Which is about, like, just a group of people, like, I guess a bunch of, like, couples getting together, older couples. And they're just having a game night, and they're doing, like, this murder mystery night. But then it turns out that there's like a real murder mystery going on at the same time they're playing this game, and they start getting confused on what's real and what's part of the game. And I saw the trailer and it didn't look all that interesting, but it's getting really good reviews. Like that surprised me. It's got like an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Who's in it?
I think Jason Bateman's in it, and that's the only person I'm remembering at the moment.
I might have seen something about it. I don't know.
Let me look. I think it's called Game Night. Let me see what the score currently is, because it was like I was amazed because it looked like a generic comedy, but people are saying it's more than that. I don't know. I think if you see a movie that's just a comedy and it has like a 50%, that means it's funny. Because like most movie critics won't just they won't just look at a comedy as a comedy and be happy with that. They'll judge it as like the entire film. So if it's funny but it's not shot very well, they're still going to give it a bad score. Or if it doesn't really have much of a story, they're going to give it a bad score. I'm not complaining about that. Just saying that if you see something like, because like Ted has a 60%, and Ted's only focus was to be funny, so that's a pretty good score for a comedy. And Ted was a funny movie. Yeah, it has an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 3.5 out of 4 on Roger Ebert's website, and a 7.4 out of 10. I don't know why they like put Roger Ebert's name up there. Like, I know he has a review website, but like Roger Ebert passed away. Why do you have his name pop up for that section? That's weird. Yeah, called Game Night, and it's doing very well. Let me actually look at like the full cast. Rachel McAdams, don't even know who that is.
Oh, she's
Jason Bateman.
Yeah, I know she's.
Kylie Bunbury. I don't know who she is. I don't know who a lot of these people is.
It was interesting too, kind of leading in a bit more to the theorizing thing. Like Bob Saget was saying, like, when like tragedies happen, like for example when 9/11 happened, like David Letterman, he still pulled on a show. He didn't have an audience at all when that happened, but he still did a show, and they just talked. And it's like, it made me think maybe some comedies don't do so well. Like, I don't have a graph with me or anything, but like if anyone like does research, maybe like when certain comedies come out, maybe around those times certain tragedies are happening. And they can't just like get enough traction as they do. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why they don't do so well. On top of that, they're being bad. I don't know. maybe it could be a thing about happening at the wrong time, stuff like that. It's interesting, man, theorizing conspiracy theories. Not really conspiracy, just a theory, yeah. Don't you find it interesting?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I
Like
don't know.
comedy, people are clearly too sensitive nowadays.
Whether it's that or it's just,
I
certain
read
things in IRL
articles.
happening at the wrong time to even, like, get invested into a comedy. I don't know.
I mean, it really. I mean, things have absolutely changed. One a good example of it. We watched the Oscars, me, you, and Chris.
That had a
And
lot of audiobugs, by the way. That
I know
video.
it did.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get to that, Zach.
I liked it. It was funny, but I mean.
The video. Yeah. But like, that's. Well, I actually was gonna mention the video, but not right this second. But we did it, and I think that it just shows because I read an article the next day talking about the ups and downs of the Oscars, and I'll give them props for this at the article. They did acknowledge how irritating Jimmy Kimmel is, but then they were praising like the two women who went on and talked about how horrible white people are. Was saying it's so funny, it was so great, it was so original. No, it wasn't. It was annoying. It was being a cunt for the sake of being a cunt. He knows.
You know what a good like way to like counter the like people don't want to watch comedies nowadays argument. Like people want to see comedy, they've just moved to internet personalities doing comedy. You know what I mean? People still go online to find funny people. I just think it's Hollywood that aren't funny anymore. I think that
comedy isn't dying, but funny movies. I mean, like
But like what people find valuable in comedic entertainment now, it's like they want more downgraded production value. Low production value. I think that's what makes it funnier. Even
Hollywood,
for sure.
With Hollywood, I agree with you, but you need to kind of find a compromise when it comes to comedy, because if you want to enjoy a good comedy nowadays, you need to be willing to go into it with more than just comedic expectations, or you need to look into the really weird out there films, a lot of which you can only find online. But like a good example of, I went to see a lot of movies in 2017, and the only ones that I found especially funny were the ones that were also dramas, like Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. I just rewatched that twice recently because it's available for rent now. And there's a lot of good comedy in that movie. It's very depressing. It's a very dark movie. It's not labeled as a comedy, but there is comedic elements in it that work very well. Wes Anderson's new movie, Isle of Dogs, is about to come out, and I'm sure that one's going to have a lot of comedy in it, but it's also going to be focused a lot on the story and characters. And Wes Anderson's a great example of make a compromise, because it's not a full-blown comedy, but all of his movies tend to be a lot more lighthearted than other movies, but it's not just, it is there to tell a story too and everything. So that's what I'm saying with compromise.
It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. Movies trying to, but I think a lot of people just generally just want quick laughs. I think that's just what they crave more nowadays, and which is not a bad thing. I'm actually very happy for like online entertainment for sure.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think there's any way to go back to Hollywood comedy to rise up on top again. I think that because the internet wasn't around during a certain amount of years, and when it finally came out, and stuff like YouTube and social media came out, you don't even need YouTube. You could just put out short videos on Instagram or whatever. You get a quick laugh done. You even get like a following just on Instagram. All these people. That even if you don't like them, there's still such thing as Instagram comedians. It's still a thing.
With Hollywood, I 100% agree with you. But if you say that there are zero good comedy movies anymore, then you're just not looking hard enough. I mean, you do have to look upon
pure comedy. No, I'm not talking comedy and drama.
Comedy.
I don't remember any recent ones though. That's the thing.
But you have to look for them is the big thing. Like some of them are even foreign. You have to really look into it. And that doesn't mean you have to have subtitles. By the way, they're not all like.
But don't you feel like that's a shame? There's not like a lot of spotlighting. I don't I don't want to search for anything. That's the thing. Like it's important, sure.
Well, if you want to enjoy
whether or not it's the right thing, it's like it is what it is. I just don't want to, and a lot of people don't want to.
I mean, absolutely to each their own, but I mean,
Yeah.
if you do just look for it a little bit, it's not that hard, and it can be very rewarding. I just watch YouTubers who talk about movies, and I discover great shit because of that. Sometimes the best comedy you can get, and I understand this isn't what you're referring to, but you can just sometimes find movies made by really incompetent people that are hilarious to watch. I saw a comedy very recently, and it's from the 90s, and the sequel's coming out in April after, like, God, I don't know how many years it's been. It's been a long time, called Super Troopers. Ever hear of that?
Maybe. What was it about?
It was built up a lot for me, and it was just kind of an okay comedy. This trailer for the sequel looks terrible, but
wait, that came out in the 90s. Is that about like a bunch of people in like a alternate reality fighting bug aliens? No. Okay, that's something else.
It's just a bunch of cops that basically go around pranking people.
Okay.
Like it's a movie that's like mainly sketch comedy. Like it does have a story that it cuts back to occasionally, but there's just so many scenes of them pulling over people and fucking with them, and that's it.
Couldn't they get arrested for that? Did they do that legally?
Well, it's a written movie.
I thought it was like, okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was
like Jackass.
Okay, I thought that's what it was kind of like.
Yeah,
All right.
no.
That would have been hilarious.
It's just a bunch of cops, and they're basically children. That's like it. They're just stupid cops.
There's a lot of stupid cop movies.
Story.
What's that recent one that came out? The Latino guy and the blonde guy that's married to Kristen Bell. And then before that, there was the two black guy and the white guy that pretended to be cops.
Like, that's Chips, and if you just watch a scene from that movie alone, you can know it's like it's horrible. Like it's made by a really.
Have you heard that other one I mentioned? The one, it was like a tall black dude and a small white dude. Keegan-Michael Key's in it. I think it's like two guys that aren't cops, but they get one Halloween, they dress up as them, and then they get taken seriously for cops, and they try to play as them for a couple weeks, I think. Yeah. One of them buys a cop car. I saw that whole movie. It was. Yeah.
I don't like movies that have like setups like that. Like, it's stupid.
What if we do this and this? See what happens.
Super Troopers isn't a great movie, but it does at least just get straight to the point. Like they're cops and they're fucking with people. Some of the skits are funny, some of them aren't. Like it's as simple as that. And as a result, you get something a lot more enjoyable than Chips. Jesus, that freaking movie. It's really bad. Okay, so I do have a lot of notes here. Okay, I'll cross the puppy off of the list. So a lot more.
Cross the puppy off. Period. You mean?
Cross the puppy off. Okay, first off, I'm just happy to say this. Hey Zach, did you see the new Let's Cook?
No, but I saw it was in my subscription. I forgot we should talk about that. I should have written that down. Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's Cook.
I actually did watch it.
I hovered my mouse over the thumbnail, if that counts, and I saw Jackie doing a totally authentic reaction to cooking.
It was like 6 minutes. That's too long for Let's Cook. Let's Cook needs to be like straight to the point. Come on, Richie. That was disappointing.
Respectfully disagree. My preference is longer Let's Cooks. I would like to see each step by step for at least a minute each. Like, okay, stir it.
You say that, but you never actually watch the show. I'm the one who watches the show. I'm the one giving that are valuable
a minute
here.
Each per step.
I don't want the episodes to be any longer than 15 seconds.
50 minutes. It has to be like an hour-long episode of Gotham, just like 50 minutes worth of Let's Cook. But yeah, they should get. You know what? They should get guests on, like Chris or Julian.
Well, they did have some guy on.
Some guy featuring some guy.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't recognize them at all from any of their older videos. It's just some random guy.
You know what though? You know what? At least they're not doing completely irrelevant gaming videos. At least they're trying to get some kind of variety on the channel. Something.
Richie
dusting off
and
that
Jackie
DSLR of his.
Richie and Jackie should do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
Next note, this one we won't talk about long because there's not a lot to say about it. I watched the Emoji Movie with Pinsack. Pinsack fell asleep during it. I stayed up for the whole thing. It's on Netflix. I wouldn't have watched it otherwise because there's no way I would have actually put money specifically towards that. Technically, I did support the movie because I didn't pirate it. I watched it on Netflix, and that does help it more than pirating it does. It was bad, but it was just as bad as I thought it would be, and I wouldn't recommend it because it just felt like I wasted. Like it wasn't like. I mean, everyone said it wasn't a so bad it's good movie. It was just.
You know how genius the dude who thought of like, okay, let's put this on Netflix. We're probably gonna get a lot of people that haven't seen the movie. We're just gonna watch on Netflix because they have Netflix.
Yeah.
It's gonna be free. They probably got made enough from Netflix, not too much, but like maybe
Oh, yeah.
it was kind of mainstream for it being so bad. Not as
I don't
close to
even
The
care.
Room bad, but like enough.
I don't even care if they make a second Emoji Movie. Like everyone's saying, you're just
I don't think
you're
they would.
watching ironically. You're just
I
supporting it.
think whatever the money they got, they just got to get. They're just
Maybe
like the
maybe
prayers of it just to
maybe
leech
they'll
off
do
or whatever.
good. They did make a lot of money off the Emoji Movie. Maybe they'll get lucky, or maybe we'll get lucky and they'll do something cool with that money. Probably they'll just do something like a second Emoji
Don't give it to the
Movie. And
same
honestly,
creators, but
no,
the studio.
you don't have my whole mindset on that is if they're really going to go ahead and make a second Emoji Movie, if they had that mindset, you shouldn't care what the studio does. Like just like I hear so many people saying you just shouldn't support it, and I wasn't going to support it on the big screen, but who gives a shit?
Would your mind be blown if like they legitimately made a second movie parroting their first one and being like completely aware and actually trying to like deliver a message like what they did was wrong and like trying to say sorry throughout this whole thing, but like it was legitimately good. You know what I mean? Like what?
That'd be like one of the most meta things ever.
That would be amazing. Actually, I would clap for them. That would be amazing. That would like I don't know. That would change things.
I would like it if they actually did something smart with that idea, but just
they could make something original again, yeah, but that would be something so like out there and like unheard of. Like I don't know what movie.
If all they did was make a second movie where they admit the first movie was a piece of shit, like it's not gonna.
Not just that. I'm just saying it could be a part of that. I'm just saying like if it turned out to be good, like I'm just throwing in one idea out of many they could throw in there. But yeah.
If they did something good,
yeah.
I think it would be cool. Like I think that you could have had some respect for the movie if it actually went with the message.
What was the message? I never saw it.
Put the damn phone down. The message is unclear. I guess it's just be yourself. I mean, it's not really unclear. It's just like they make fun of the technology and its overuse, but they also completely suggest. But at the same time, they completely praise it and say that you should use it. Like they have like little jokes at the very beginning of like two people texting on their phones, not looking where they're going, and they walk into each other and fall backwards and whatnot. And they have like stuff like just making fun of like.
I guess they thought they were as clever as Zootopia, where at the end it's like it's okay, we're all a little homophobic or a little racist, Like they thought they were that clever.
Wasn't the message at the end of Zootopia?
Yeah, wasn't it? We're all a little racist. At the end, you had the little scene where it's like, "Hey, you stupid fox! Hey, something rabbit." So they had a little thing. Remember? Was I the only one that got that? No, come on, man. We're all a little racist. Come on. I
don't think that's at all what Zootopia was
doing. I'm racist.
I think it was very much discouraging that mindset.
What if some guy like went out of that movie misinterpreting it and just like
that's the message Avenue
changed his whole personality? What's up?
That's the message that the play Avenue Q had. You ever hear of that?
No.
It's like a puppet show, but like they're all like singing really like adult stuff. It's like adult Sesame Street, pretty much. And one of the songs is "Everybody's a Little Bit Racist."
Nice.
And it's a song about how every single person is kind of racist, and that's it. Like if you
We're
just
all
admit
a little racist, but we slap ourselves in the knee or the face. Sorry, the knee is like a good thing. Yeah. Slapping ourselves in the face and saying, "No, that's wrong."
I'm just saying
we
that's
all
not
have
at all
those moments.
I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying that's not at all what Zootopia did.
I think maybe a little bit they might have, but autism anyway.
So. Really don't think so. I think they discouraged that mindset throughout the entire movie.
Until that one scene, but who knows?
But anyway.
Why would they name call each other at the end by their race? Huh?
Like the general idea is just express yourself and be yourself. Like that's what you kind of expect it to be. But like
yawn.
They also have like commentary about usage of your phone, but then they have commentary that contradicts their commentary. Like it's not well thought out.
Quirky. I don't know what to tell you.
It's terrible. But I expect it to be. I don't like. I can't really. Yeah. I can't justify me watching it. There was no reason to. Next note, Oscars video. Did you like the Oscar video?
I said like if the audio had been better, it was hard to like. I think it was like your connection. I remember you sounded exactly like us when we were trying to listen to you. It's definitely you. I don't know. It's all your fault.
I don't know.
Should just throw out your laptop, delete all your files, everything.
It could be me, but I just don't think it's like completely fair and justified to say it was me when I have internet connection problems when I'm gonna call a few, and my thing is green too. You don't know if it's me. We both have the same. We're both seeing the same thing. It could be you. Now during that call, it may have been me because you said you could hear Chris just fine when I was having.
Yeah, I heard him fine, and I had green the whole time. You were the one who I turned your end on the recording. What
I also had green the whole time.
But you're just clearly bad. Doesn't matter. Did you put your mouse over the thing? Did it say like it was over 100 or 200 ms? Not now. I mean before.
I didn't check that.
A good thing is like if it's under
full screened on the Oscars. I only opened it quickly to see the 3 bars.
The lower the better. If it's like over 100, it's getting too bad. You know, like 60.
I'd like
30,
to do something like that with you and Chris again, and hell, we probably should just do the Oscars again next year. But we all need to record our own fucking sound. What ended up happening is the sync was off because like it would pause the recording because Chris would like freeze and his voice would pause for a second, then you'd hear the rest of his sentence finish like a second later, and that would just cause like every time Chris spoke there was a sync issue. So for all I know,
and you were recording with Bandicam and you said you didn't want to use that anymore.
I didn't really want to use Bandicam, but I didn't really have. I wasn't prepared to use anything else.
Try
If we ever do another Oscar,
I think you should try maybe.
I don't think the audio was much worse than what it sounds like in most of the stuff we record.
Maybe you should try. Maybe you should try looking into OBS. It's not just for live streaming; it's also for recording. That your screen could possibly work. Who knows? You good?
I'll figure something out with that. Something out. Right, striked with that immediately.
What?
Maybe you saw that video. Did you see that video?
Sorry, you lagged out for a bit and you're back. What did you say?
I said that we got copyright struck with that immediately. Did you
see
I
saw that. Yeah, I was
like,
very shortly after it came back on, so you know.
Yeah, I disputed it, and I thought I was like, it said like we'll respond within 30 days. And I was like, okay, cool. So it's going to go back up in 30 days when it's not relevant anymore. Yeah. But then, no, it went back up in an hour, so that was cool.
Good stuff. I really like the thumbnail. It looked so professional. Like, if I saw it from, like, any, you know, popular channel, I would be like, oh, that's... Maybe it looked really good. And the animation looked... I think you did some, like, shading in some of the parts, right? Like, it looked pretty HD.
Yeah, I kind of just, like, randomly did that, too. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just trying to...
It was very good.
I've been drawing daily, because that's another show note, but I'll get into that later.
Possibly better than Cody, but you know.
Cody is actually fucking good now, and I have a lot to live up to when we work on our comic together, which I'll talk about. Oscar video's done. A big review is coming pretty soon. I have a video called Michael's Watch List. I'm burpy. I don't know why I'm so burpy.
Sure.
We have a big review coming out. I have a big review coming out on Slate Side. It's called Michael's 2017 Watch List. It's been like so many videos focused on 2017, and I'm like so ready to move on, but this has been one I've been working on since December. And the thing is, it's only part 1, and I was originally just going to allow this to be like an hour-long upload where I review all 52 movies I watched in 2017. But then I have like several problems with that. One, I don't know anyone who's going to want to watch an hour-long video. At least cut and a half might get someone to click and see the beginning of it. But if it's an hour long, I feel like a lot of people are just going to completely ignore it because they're like, oh, I'm not going to get invested in an hour-long video. Right? The other concern I have is the Oscar video got copyright striked, and that was just dealing with one organization. This being 52 movies, this is 52 people to potentially deal with. So I decided I'll cut it in half. I also want to just get the first part out already. Some of the stuff has been like ready for like 4 months now, and I just really want to release it. I'm editing like the last 3 movies right now of the review. I think that I just finished Snatch, and then the other 2 I have to edit is King Candy and The Killing Joke. So there's 25 movies being reviewed in part 1, then part 2 of 27. And I'm trying to watch more movies. That's just going to make the 2018 watch list harder, but I'm trying to be dedicated to it. I swear to God, I'm going to finish this video, and then it'll be time to work on.
By the time you're done with that, you're not going to have seen any 2018 movies, and you're going to be like, all right, let's make this list now. It's like, oh, God damn it.
I keep watching 2017 movies because I'm just, like, catching up with everything I wanted to see. I haven't seen a single 2018 release yet. Isle of Dogs next week will probably be my first one.
Did you see that? sorry to go to like comic book stuff, but like that Avengers trailer came out today that we're recording this.
I didn't see a new Avengers trailer now.
Oh, beautiful, so good.
I'll watch it. Does it look like the Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be in it? Because I just kind of picture them being in like
no, they're
5
in
minutes
sure.
of the movie,
No,
and then part 2 they're a big part.
Gamora's got a big thing, and she's like the daughter of Thanos, so she's got a big deal. Part of it. Chris Pratt's with Robert Downey Jr. in the trailer talking to him. It's great. It's really good.
I'll check it out.
And I think Rocket and Groot are with Thor in the movie, doing their own thing. So it's they're really doing a lot. Also, originally like we were going to. This is just a thing I just realized as a topic. The day we were supposed to record this Wednesday, but like late Tuesday night, the day before, or the night before Stephen Hawking passed, I was watching a thing on Twitch, just a show on Twitch that I watch every Tuesday, and like that you see the chat live and everything, talking about the episode. All of a sudden, people are talking about Stephen Hawking died, and I'm checking social media and I haven't. I'm like, wow, like I'm just trying to watch one thing and it's distracted by another, and it's like I don't know. Yeah. He inspired a lot of people. He touched a lot of people's hearts.
I'm not gonna go into this right now because a lot of it's personal shit. Mm-hmm. But like I never really looked into Stephen Hawking as a person while he was alive. And the day he died, I did see a bunch of stuff from him, and eventually I came across something that was just so fucking relevant to me at the moment that it was weird. Like the day he died, he made a fucking connection with me. It was weird.
You don't know you don't remember what it was?
I remember what it was. I don't want to talk about it.
I was gonna say also, like, it's for us being alive as long as we are. It's interesting to say like we've been alive when we were around at the time when Michael Jackson was alive, when Stephen Hawking was alive. We can't say the same things about certain people like Gandhi or Elvis or whatever. It's interesting for us. I feel in our generation.
These are the Gandhi and Elvises,
Exactly. This is the Albert Einstein of this generation, but at least we were in the generation that shared life with him. It's very, very interesting, and future generations won't understand that. I don't know.
He had the most positive outlook on saying there is no God I ever heard.
I listened to whether it was a clickbait thing. I think it was legitimately like his last speech he did. It was like in front of this big auditorium. He did this final speech to the public at something about like it sounded like a goodbye speech. I don't remember much of it, but it was like he was thankful for all the contributions he's provided and all that, and he doesn't think that will live past 1,000 years. We should try to find life outside of Earth, try to find a new home, off this planet, stuff like that. It was, I don't know, it's just very interesting. A guy like that, smart, that wise, maybe if he's right or not, we'll see, but
yeah,
that's what he leaves us with.
It's a scary thought, but we'll probably be lucky enough to.
But he at least contributed enough to further that. It's a shame that like he couldn't live longer to try to like advance everything more, like and all the health stuff. I'm sure with him too, like sent him back. When he sounded like all his life he's been trying to work hard to like just help society.
He made the most of the shitty hand he was dealt. He ended up living 55 years longer than they thought he would. So that's something.
He was saying like around the time when he got diagnosed and like things were getting worse and worse, he got engaged and like things started to look up for him, and then his career blew off like that. Like the story of him, he talked about it very briefly, but it was interesting. It was very cool. Like you're actually happy for him. Yeah. As sad as like what happened, like he made the best out of it.
I have like some extreme anxiety issues, and about a lot of this stuff. Like a lot of shit happened, and like I'd say DuckCast season 3, looking back at it one day, it's going to be like a reflection of a lot of negative times. Because, you had my hard drive getting fucked up. You had some of this personal stuff I've told you off screen. You had Kenzie's death. You had a lot of stuff going on. And anxiety has definitely gone up for me because of it. Some things have improved. Some things have absolutely improved. And I'll actually talk about some good news going off last episode in just a minute. But it is just like he does have such an interesting mindset on all of that, because it's just like with it's just like you're given a short period of time to experience the world, and you just kind of got to do everything you can with it to enjoy and like do something.
I'm glad someone
that
like
makes you happy in
him.
your life.
I'm glad someone like him did what a lot of us just are too lazy to do, which is not enjoy life as much and actually work to improve society more so, like trying to work at the grind of it.
Oh
Because a
yeah.
lot of us, like, not just that we don't understand how to, it's just that we don't
Mhm.
put any effort into wanting to. And it's like, I'm guilty of that, but at the same time, it's like, I just have this view of just wanting to enjoy life, and like on my deathbed, I'll be grateful for being selfish to do that. You know, I'm proud to at least
Yeah, you do want
not
to
stress myself too much about, I don't know.
Yeah.
For me,
I,
it's
I,
just, it's preference, but I'm glad
I try not.
he's better than me. He should. It maybe inspire others to be just as good as him. I'm glad.
I try to not stress myself out too much. It's very hard for me. I probably should get a therapist. But I've been one thing. Changing the topic a little bit. Last episode, and like kind of casually through the episodes, I talked about concern with my health. I did get blood work back, and basically what it was, like not pre-diabetic or diabetic, so that's good. I've lost 12 pounds since the last DuckCast, and my blood pressure is back to normal temporarily, and cholesterol was the only thing that they're concerned about right now. It's very, very high, and it's not high to a point where they're like giving me medication or anything. They're just to the point where saying, yeah, you need to get that down, and I've been working to get that down. But yeah, like, so health is good right now. I'm like completely checked up. Everything has been checked with me. There's nothing that has been detected wrong with me aside from cholesterol, which even plenty of healthy people, it's like way too high for them.
There's also
A lot
that
of it
addiction to
comes from
child porn
genetics.
you should probably tone down, but you know, that's just me.
What'd you say?
Nothing. Hopefully, when you listen back, you'll have talked over me to even where even the recording you can't hear anything, but if not, oh well, you heard it.
Okay. Oh,
it's just a joke, everyone. It's just a joke.
The Oscar video was fun to do with you and Chris.
Yeah. Aside from the connection issues, I feel like, you know, if there was no problems, it would have turned out way better. Like, so far the thumbnail was great. The editing was a bit too, you know, quick to each scene next to each other. Like, not as much breathing room. But other than that and the audio, fine.
Yeah. I was cutting it down from like a 20-minute thing that you could still watch if you wanted to. I sent it to you.
I think I deleted the email, but yeah. I delete emails.
But there was like this whole political part that I cut out. I left it in at first. I liked it because all three of us kind of added something to the conversation, and me and Chris kind of added. What?
You didn't want to leave it?
I didn't want to leave it because I felt like something needed to go, and that was a whole 2 minutes that could get cut.
Which it was the feminist part, right? I think that was the big thing we were talking about a few times during that.
I don't know.
It was nothing.
It was just them talking about diversity in general, and I basically went off and said, if you don't care about it enough, if that makes you quit, then you don't care about it enough. And then Chris disagreed with me and gave a very fair argument to that. And then you even kind of said something that closed it. Like, it was kind of, I said something that Chris disagreed with, and then Chris said something that I kind of agreed with, but I still kind of stand by what I say a little bit.
Oh, so you deleted it just to get rid of the evidence, I see. All right, no, I'm just kidding.
And then you said something, well, I'm saying it right now, so.
Well, you're not really saying what exactly, but.
And then you said something that we both agreed with, and we just kind of ended there. I liked that because, like, me and Chris had a disagreement without fucking tearing, like, you know, shouting at each other, tearing each other apart, you know?
Yeah.
But ultimately, I don't know. I mean, I think I agree with Chris more than I agree with my own statement there by the end of that, after what he said, but I still have, like, I'm still a little skeptical. I don't know. I feel that way because I don't think anything would make me quit doing this, but at the same time, you know, I mean, I've definitely haven't been put in the same situation other people have been put in, so I kind of understand his argument very well there. But anyway, next topic I have, me and Cody are working on 3 Pals again. We've actually started drawing out panels, just like little preview panels, not stuff that we're definitely putting
Three
in. But
Three Pals, by the way, for those that might forgot or don't
oh
really
yeah,
know, is a comic book, right? Comic book.
yeah, it's a
Sort of,
comic,
yeah,
web comic
web comic.
featuring me, Zach, and Cody, and
Yeah.
very different personas. A lot of design changes. We're pretty happy with the designs right now. I'm a little skeptical about my design. I actually really like your new design. At first, I was going to kind of give you the same eyes I gave you in the Oscars video, but I just don't think that allows for a lot of expression, so I'm not doing that.
Is that just a circle with the the little?
Yeah.
Half
The one of me is roughly the same as it is in that video. Chris, I can't say for sure because we haven't even determined what Chris's role in the series is yet. We know he's going to be in it. Yeah, we have like all these side characters we're drawing out, like a lot of characters that aren't even based on real people. We're kind of writing out the story now, and we're making a lot of progress. And it's a kind of a project that I've been taking on lately because it's just a lot. I don't know. As of now, it's a lot easier for me. Me and Tariq are trying to write our feature film for Slate Side, but I've kind of like willingly taken a break from focusing on going out and filming stuff, and like I'd kind of like to put a little more focus into this comic, the reviews and stuff like that, and still work on our movie, but kind of just make that movie the only thing we work on. I still want to release Mike and Tony Steele's Christmas. I just got to find a good time to work on that. Obviously, it's not like it's going to come out in the middle of the year, but it's a Bemis and Company episode that wasn't finished, and I'd like to finish it. The best, but am I good now?
Wait, you're frozen a bit. Okay, you're good.
Oh shit.
We're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just have that new Bemis and Company. I do want to finish one day, even though it's not Christmas time anymore.
Just like take a break when you get burnt out a bit, just before you get too burnt out, and get back to it. You'll be refreshed.
Yep, absolutely. Started playing Fantasy Life again. Started a new game.
I'm still playing Skyrim. Still love it.
How do you like it? You like it?
Yeah. Oh, I got to this point where I didn't think I could. I deleted the save before I can redo whatever, which I really regret. But I chose, there's the whole choose the two sides thing, Imperials or Stormcloaks, and I chose, I just want to not choose any after I chose one and deleted the save, and I was like, oh god, nah. Because when I walked into Stormcloak, I chose Imperial, by the way. I walked into Stormcloak camps now, and before they were friendly to me, they were like, yeah, I'll sell you stuff. We'll take your stuff if you want to sell. And now they're like, go away.
The ones trying to kill you at the beginning of the game, though.
I know, but at the same time, I just want to be cool with everyone. And now, I have to kill them. I just want to walk into a Stormcloak camp and be like, hey guys, I'm your friend. What's up? I've been here before. And now they're just like, oh, we know who you are. Get the fuck out. And it's like, I'm reading online, it's like, is there any way to get them friendly? And it's like, yeah, no, just kill them. Just walk into Stormcloak camp, just kill them. I'm like, I don't wanna. And it's like, it's gonna happen someday. I'm at that point where I'm like, and there's another thing, I went back to this one mining area, and two dudes that owned the mine died, and then a courier came up to me, he's like, here's your letter, here's the family gave you 100 gold or whatever. And it's like, all right, that guy's dead forever. It's just some random dude, but it's like it fills the world up with an extra 1 or 2 NPCs, and now they're dead because of some Forsworn, and it's like dumb.
Yeah.
I hate it. I just want everyone to live and be happy, shake hands, kiss, possibly in the butt, dicks and butt. Anyway, Skyrim.
I occasionally want on killing sprees to see how many people I could get away with murdering before they got me.
I feel like it's gonna get to. I still have my very first. I have my very first save from the beginning of the game, so if I ever want to, I could just keep my main game save and then just go back to the main thing and do a separate save file and still keep the 2 files. If I ever want to do just a Stormcloak thing or just a kill everyone spree or something, just see how it goes. But right now I'm just doing the good guy trying to save the day. I'm still completing the west side of the map until I get to the Stormcloak. Which, by the way, now that I've joined the Imperials, a big thing which I really, really regret, I can't even, I'm sure once I get to certain areas on the east side, I'm just going to be kicked out in those places, or I'm going to be forced to kill a lot of people in certain big cities. Is Winterhelm, full of Stormcloaks? Am I going to get kicked out of there? Am I going to have to kill everyone once I get there? What's going to happen? Riften? Yeah, other
I don't
places,
remember.
man. Don't remember.
I don't even remember. I was on the Imperials, and I don't remember any of like the major cities in the game having issues with me when I went in.
Because like on the maps, when you see in certain towns, like there's red and blue flags on certain maps, and which side is taken by who. And I see a lot of the western side taken, eastern side taken by Stormcloaks.
Well,
so
Stormcloaks are more of like rebels. They don't really have their own, like major locations.
Other than their
They do
camps.
have like they have like camps, yeah,
But like the
know.
place where Ulfric is and his dudes, aren't they in Winterhold? Like, good God, he's gonna look at me in the eyes and just gonna be like, "You're dead."
I joined the Imperials just because I'd be out in the before I even picked a side. I'd be out like in the like just out in the woods exploring. Then a Stormcloak would come up to me and attack me. So it's like, okay, if these guys are gonna fucking attack me for no reason, of course.
Self-defense, of course. You kill anyone if they come at you, but like willfully going after someone just cause, like, nah. Unless they.
Nope. One of them attacked me. It put me in a bad mood. I committed genocide.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did. That's how I play Skyrim.
I know you haven't, because like apparently it was like a DLC or like an expansion thing for console versions or future console versions. Well, like the kids thing that got added.
Yeah.
Like like once you get a kid, they're just they live in your home and they explore the town. I have mine in Whiterun. Little Lucia, the girl in the green dress, and like, I rarely visit her, and when I do visit her, she's like, "Papa, you're back," and sometimes she like either gives me a gift, asks for an allowance, asks for a gift, blah blah blah. I usually say no to everything and just tell her either to do her chores and go play outside. And sometimes when you tell her to do something, she'll be like, "But I don't want to." Like every goddamn or almost every goddamn time. Sometimes I'll be like, "Lucia, ... or I'll be like, "Okay, fine." But usually I tell her to do the goddamn chores or go play outside and be social, you goddamn autistic. But yeah. And so there was one day, like when you have a kid in your home, they have their own room and their own chest that they store things in every now and then. And like I opened their chest once, the kid's chest, and there was this one book about like, it was something about like a cult. Something about like, and I'm reading the whole thing, I'm like, I'm just gonna take this out of her drawer and keep it in my chest so she doesn't have this. It was just very weird. And then afterwards, I gave her a sword and a dagger, so now she has weapons. But she'll grow up fine. And also, when you give them a weapon, there's like a one of those, the dummies in the room. Once you give her a weapon, the first time I gave her a weapon, she's fighting the thing, like flailing everywhere, and like it was the most hysterical thing. I was like crying, laughing for 10 minutes because you're just seeing this little kid model just going at this dummy, and she has a pet rabbit too, so the rabbit's watching, and it looks like the rabbit's gonna die from one of her swings. Luckily, the rabbit's okay, but yeah, it's just so many emotions. But yeah, I care nothing about the kid. I just have her as a kid, just for extra living thing in the house. I still can't get a wife. I forget when the time will come for that, but you said some.
You just gotta look up where you get it. You just gotta look it up online, and then you go.
I look up a lot of things online, but that I will not. I will be.
Well, it's not just gonna randomly come up. You have to go to a church in a specific town and ask a specific person about it.
I'll shake the woman and tell her to be my wife. I think that's how it goes in IRL. I think that's what will work in Skyrim.
Okay.
Come on.
So, after this call, I'm gonna get in a call with Chris later tonight. Chris and Olivia, because we're adding a segment to Derailed. Well, it's a segment, but it's a segment that's gonna be like an episode. It's not gonna be every episode Derailed from now on, but we are gonna do like a movie swap. Like Chris and Olivia are gonna tell me to watch something, and I'm gonna tell them to watch something, and then we're gonna do an episode where we talk about both of each other's movies. And then we're going to recommend another one at the end of that, and then that's just going to go on like that. That was a segment I tried to bring to DuckCast, but we wouldn't go through it, so I'm just doing it on Derailed now.
Good for you. Putting some variety and stuff to your podcast, your own thing. Getting stuff done. Doing the thing. Putting it in the butt. I think I did a putting in the butt joke twice this episode. Nice.
Influenced by what they did on Weiser, what they used to do on Weisenheimer's, and now Sardonicast does it too. But
is Sardonicast the one with I hate everything?
It's I Hate Everything, Your Movie Sucks, and Ralph the Movie Maker.
That got recommended to me. The first episode or a lost episode, something like that. I was like, oh.
Yeah, they had a bonus for episode 1 because they talked about the Oscars in episode 1, and they talked.
Is that the podcast you were mentioning, that newer podcast, or is that something else with Ralph the Movie Maker and whatever? Like,
no, SardoniCast is the podcast I was talking about. I'm like actually already a huge fan. I created a Reddit account just to follow the subreddit.
I'm just not a fan of any of them to really get invested, but I don't know.
I mean, watch their videos first and see if you're into them. Every single one of them except Ralph took time for me to grow too, because I Hate Everything.
Wait, is Ralph in that podcast?
Yeah.
I saw Your Movie Sucks, I Hate Everything, but I forget the third guy. Maybe it was Ralph. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I absolutely know it's Ralph. Okay. I listen to the show. They're 2 hour and 30-minute long episodes, and I've watched every single time an episode comes out, I watch it that day. I mean, I listen to the whole thing that day. It's just very, very enjoyable for me. But I am a dedicated fan of all three of the things they make.
Oh boy, lag.
You're watch
Okay, you're back.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
And I'm dedicated to watching all three of those channels, so that's why I can listen to that. I'd actually say become a fan of all three of them before you listen to it. But if you are just a big fan of one of them, maybe then. What I will say is that I Hate Everything I started watching like 3 years ago, and the first time I tried watching, he annoyed me, so I stopped. Then eventually I gave his channel another chance, and I ended up enjoying him. Then he mentioned Your Movie Sucks in video, so I watched Your Movie Sucks, and Your Movie Sucks was way too harsh of a critic for me. But then I eventually kept giving him more chances, and now I pretty much agree with his mindset on movies. And then Ralph the Movie Maker, by the time I made it to him, being a harsh movie critic didn't bother me anymore, so I was just able to get right into Ralph. Ralph actually makes his own movies, and that's awesome. And he has one that he just finished, but he's trying to get it see how far he can get it released. But yeah, I'd say
oh, sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, I think YMS is probably my favorite. Ralph is probably my second favorite, and I Hate Everything. I like him a lot, but he's probably third. Go ahead.
Your Movie Sucks doesn't really seem appealing to me. I don't know. That's a separate thing. I was gonna say a Twitch streamer that I watched recently is doing a podcast with his gang. They just did their second episode recently. They're big on VR chat, so they did this podcast all in VR chat. They got this one little map, and it's led by 5 hosts, and they've even got 2 other friends from music, and they've got the setup where they can switch the cameras. There's multiple cameras pointed at each one, and it's actually really cool. And it's called the Team 5 podcast, and it's uploaded a little over a week later on the dude's YouTube channel, PokeLols. It's really cool.
There's a podcast that Pinsack was trying to get me on. He got my brother on it, and now I was listening with him, called Adventure Zone. It's just them. It's kind of like what we wanted to do with the whole D&D thing. But they have a whole podcast for that, and yeah, I mean, it's I tried listening to the first one. I was listening to the first half of it with them, and it was okay. I was enjoying it. It was pretty funny actually. But I listen to podcasts almost as a thing in the background, and it's one that you have to actually really focus on. I can't multitask while listening to it, so
you can't. You're not into those kind of things with the visuals.
There's no visuals. It's just audio. But you just need to pay attention because they're explaining everything happening. If you miss something, then you kind of.
I think that's I think H3 does a great job on their podcast, visual wise. They put stuff up on the TV for people to watch and reacting to everything, and the guests get to watch everything as well. And you get to see their reactions. I don't know. It's kind of necessary to watch and listen to the H3 podcast more than just.
I don't agree that it's necessary because I don't ever
in most parts. I think.
Well, I mean, it's Google. They have it on Google Play where it's just audio, and that's mainly where I listen.
It's definitely more fun watching it though.
Depends on your definition of fun. I mean, I might prefer to listen to them while.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's my preference. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I know.
I just said, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let me look through this. So another note I have. I'm almost done with these. I already talked about I Love Dogs, so I'll take that note off. It's just coming out.
We're getting close to an hour, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Well, I have
Yeah.
2 more notes, and neither of them will have a lot to say. Like doing more videos, like the Oscar video, like with you and Chris, I'd be interested in doing that. We just need to get our recording shit set up. There's a movie that Cody recommended me called Ivan the Incredible. It looks fucking horrible, and it looks like it'd be funny to watch together. It's on Netflix. Do you have Netflix?
Mm.
You do.
Mm.
So we could all just watch it and do it. I guess
Ivor the Giant.
Ivan the Incredible.
Ivan the Incredible. I completely butchered the name.
Looks,
Yeah, Ivan the Incredible. That's what I said the first time.
Oh my god. Yeah, because Cody was recommended to me as a movie to watch, and it's been on the top of my watch list.
I wonder if that one movie I talked about, Bread Boy or Bread whatever, is still up on Netflix. It's like, I think it was bread. It was like a dude who like one day woke up with the power to everything he touched turned to bread.
Yeah.
It was like, and there's like literally a picture from one of the previews. Like he's in fetal position, surrounded in a room full of bread. It's like really bad. I don't know.
It sounds like it was trying to be bad, though, like on purpose.
I think it was like for kids though. It starred one of the dudes from High School Musical. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bread Boy was an Academy Award-winning film.
What else did I see? Well, what was my... No, never mind. What was my last show? Oh, yeah, my last show note, it's not really worth talking about that much. I might, like, do a review. I said I wouldn't review any more Rich Alvarez stuff. I'm actually kind of interested in going back and, like, reviewing it project by project, but, like, more comedic-based videos, but we'll see. I think it'd be fun.
Just review Let's Cook as a series, come on. You're such a big fan of it.
Just review Let's Cook episode.
No, just the whole series and all, yeah. If you want each episode, but
yeah.
Each and every single episode.
We'll see about that. I did officially make the Shut Up Cartoons analysis thing unlisted because I was like, this was stupid. This was a dumb idea.
I didn't notice that.
I did I put a lot of time into it. It's like too bad, but I just don't want to link my channel and have those pop up. Like I just feel like it was a stupid waste of time. Anyway.
Halfway through this episode, I realized that my cooling pad was plugged in and making a lot of noise, so for the first half of this episode, you probably heard like a really loud hiss.
I didn't.
To point that out.
But maybe they did.
Everyone else probably.
Yeah.
Maybe not a loud hiss, but something in the background. Possibly.
That's about everything for me.
Yeah.
Like, working on a lot of stuff, trying to kind of find a new direction to go in, and hopefully things can keep going up and stop going down in life.
We got a mascot. I think things will look up for DuckCast at least. Things will go up.
Things will go up. We gotta like figure out what we're gonna do with the last episodes this season, but I'm sure we got some time left before that.
We will see. Thank you all for listening.
Indeed. Thanks for listening to DuckCast episode 54. I hope it was your favorite one.